Good afternoon. Hi, it is 4:20 p.m. here in London, Ontario, Canada. How are you? I don't know if I have spaghetti on my teeth or not. That's what I'm eating. Spaghetti is zucchini and turkey meat. But, yeah, so it's quite good. I guess I should have done this before I come on, but I'm doing it now. Voyeurism. Voyeurism. Yes, voyeurism is happening right here. Right here. I'm telling you. What is it with people in voyeurism? It's a sexual act. My new place, it just happens to be after the insurance company found out I gave them my information. These people cut a hole, and the guy that fixes the place, he says, oh yeah, you know, they get their kicks off, whoever it may be, get their kicks off, and they cut a hole in the screen, they went up and they put the camera in. Are you serious? Are you that challenged that you don't know how to get off with your partner or, control yourself? That's called voyeurism. Voyeurism is invasion of privacy. So when I'm in my bed, I'm in the shower, I'm in my living room, that is called voyeurism. So voyeurism is a sexual act. If you want to check it out, get a hold of the city. I spoke with them. It is invasion of privacy, and it is a criminal act. And people are doing it all the time. And the thing is, it needs to be stopped. That's the ones that were doing it over in Cherry Hill Place, and the police told me to go pray. They're the ones that were stealing my stuff out of my place because they know what was going on in there. They could see, and every time they would grab objects. Now, and then the people down the hall would laugh about it. Oh, are you missing this? Oh, look, I went shopping. Because they're very unwell. They're very unwell. Actually, I seen him dressed like he's doesn't have any money, and then I caught him out in the hallway dressed real slick with nice big rings on. So again, be very careful. This is what they do. They go out in the hallway, they hook into your stuff. That's how they took the app off my phone, or off my TV. I have a smart TV, a 4K smart TV, but they're trying to say I don't have Bluetooth. This is the person invading. The person is unwell. So it's up to the authorities not to just tell you to go pray, but to take care of it. So I have documentation. We always need documentation for some reason, always showing evidence. It is a criminal offense. Everything I speak about is criminal. And to think that you're going to get away with it, maybe right now, but in the end you won't. Along with this, if we go back to the evidence, I also have evidence about blood pooling in my legs. The doctor says, well, it doesn't show that. Well, I have evidence on paper, it shows it. So on the paper it says clear, everything's all good. But I went to the hospital, I had an angiogram, and they pumped me full of blood thinners and magnesium and potassium and vitamin D. I mean, for some reason, my body just didn't have any of it. And I had what they called lipoma. Like, I had these lumps on my knees and everything, and they said it was not cancerous, and there were types of cysts, and they needed to remove them. And then I get told something different. Okay, but on paper, on documentation, it states that. So you have to have evidence. Same with my foot. My foot showed there was fractures and a long-term infection in my foot. So I have the evidence. So again, do not be fooled by someone who could be interpreting something that somebody had placed in there, because they can do that. I learned these from specialized people that taught about these kind of people that do that, and they go into your system and they can change your yes to a no and no to a yes. It's very simple, just by click of a button. So again, if you've got evidence, keep it. Along with that, talking about evidence, so voyeurism is a criminal offense. And why hasn't anything been done about it? If I can prove to you, take you to my place and prove to you there is voyeurism, is that not a criminal fact? Is that a criminal intent, invasion of privacy? Also, another doctor told me that is invasion of my privacy by taking my emails and changing information or withholding my information. That is a serious medical malpractice. And anybody that has gone into is hacking doing this, because they're doing it to a lot of places, that person is a criminal. They're scared. They're scared, and they know it. Okay. So again, the police want to come to my place, I can show them. It's very simple, but why should I have to keep paying for someone to remove it when they're doing it? So if someone's getting off on the other end because they have money, big deal. I didn't get permission, right? So again, ladies and gentlemen, just because they've been getting away with it this much does not mean they're going to do it to you. Okay, it's criminal. Another thing is that when God has to do with modern man, it's interesting because if you go into Genesis Paradise Lost with these doctors, okay, they specialize in bones, they specialize in your schools, they specialize in geography, in history. I mean, they specialize in every different area. So they all have, and they can go on to, some of them say they have 5 degrees, they have this, and this. But the thing is, do we and have we studied? So knowledge is truth, and truth is knowledge, and truth will set you free. That's where your freedom is. And that's where you live in a perspective and not in a perception that I shared this morning. So I can prove, no debates, that at Noah's flood, how old this earth is. So you go, you see a rainbow, look at that rainbow. Where'd that rainbow come from? How did that rainbow get there? How did the flood get here? Everybody believes in something. And they're always seeking something. Always seeking something to help them. Right? Just because someone has money and power and has been able to get away with what they've done to me doesn't mean they will continue. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if someone wants to date you, they will be with you. They will do it in your walk. You will be connecting together. You will be doing things in action. Okay? You need to observe them. Observe them first. If not, you're going to get yourself gaslighted and you could end up marrying a criminal. Now, if your ex is stalking you and is doing voyeurism because he's done a criminal act and withheld money, then the authorities need to go and check that out. Okay? So these are not just little things. These are crimes. These are crimes. You can't keep protecting each other forever, right? And we always have evidence. So, you know, the estate lawyer said, well, I've got evidence to prove that these people are doing something that's not right. Well, of course. A financial advisor, Rhonda, these people are doing something that's not right. Did you know how much money you have and they've taken it? You know what I mean? So again, evidence, 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 evidence. It's like hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing the truth. Just like my ears. They're perforated. Well, I was told by the hearing place that this perforation was healed. That it's only in this one. This one is infected. Did I get medication for it? No. Due to the accident, how from one person saying this one is healed and the other person says is perforated. I don't have the answers, do you? So in this, that means That means our brains, our brains. So they went back, and they went back in history, and they went back to the brains, they went back to the cranial, they went back. But it's up to you to believe. I mean, you're not supposed to force and never debate. Do not debate with anyone. Debating, there is no healthy debates. I thought there was, there is none. And the book where it says do not debate. You know, so we're always looking for a blanket. We're always looking for a blockbuster. So when I went in, as I have survived, and I can guarantee you, with evidence, I survived things that nobody could ever think of. But it's up to the law to step in and find out. So I invite the law to my place where they can see where they cut the screens out and what they're doing. I don't give permission for someone to observe me, but I did ask authorities to come in and do this, but they have to have a consent form. But now spies, which can be very healthy, can also do this if they find any criminal intent or any actions of criminal. They can actually come in without your permission and find out if you're lying or not. So they can tell by your behaviors, by behavior analysts. They can tell by if you have nightmares or don't. They can tell if you're like talking to some kind of hocus pocus person or not, if you're making it up, or they can tell if you're praying to God or talking to God. They can tell. They do this, okay? But hopefully they have sound, okay? Because we want sound. So I always say, well, how do certain people know what I'm talking about before I even speak about it? And so there you go. When a person thinks, well, you know, I get away with that, that's okay. I'm not here for revenge. But I will tell you, I do not allow anyone, someone sending me, see, this is what they do, choose the clowns, because they're idiots. If I do not allow people in my life or be part of my life, it's because I choose, like you do. So it's about having peace. Who you're, like I choose, I'm going to meet one day, because that's my choice. I am now ready to step into that where I was not ready before. There was no damn way. But now that I have gone through this and the healing process, I'm allowing God to put right kind of people to take care of the rest. Now, would I date someone online and marry them? No. Absolutely not. Unless I can be with the person in action. I don't know how to make that more clear. I'm not just speaking to myself. I'm speaking to all of you. All ladies and gentlemen. Because I have went up to a woman and she just gave her pension check away. And her family knows. And they don't want to waste their time on that. And if someone tells me just to go pray, then obviously they don't care either. If a police officer knows there's criminal activity, they tell, let's go pray. Or if someone tells me these are setups, oh, you poor thing, you're getting harmed. Obviously, this person's very sick and twisted. It's a psychopath, sociopath, narcissist. If someone is stealing your money, I have documentation. My money was stolen because in it, and from evidence proving, then the person is a criminal. And then somebody says to me, oh, you and your evidence. You're damn straight, because that's what man needs. That's what man needs. You know, and that's what they do need. So, don't live in an illusion. Go back to your memories of when it began or when something happened. What happened? Go back to that. And if you follow through what happened, you know who came in. There was one man, and he was on Instagram, and he came in, tried talking to me all the time, and he was going into paintings. And he had a really crazy photo of him on Instagram, and I knew he was very unstable. And the way he talked. And he says, you know, but these paintings, I remember that. Well, anyways, he was starting to post really weird shit, and I ended up blocking it. Because what he was trying to do was get into my pants. You see? And that's what these trolls do. They do not show who they really are. So what they do is he had, I mean, this picture, honestly. I shared his photo to a few people. He'd always wear a top hat. He was skinny, bald guy. Anyways, I shared him to a few people. I'd have to look because a lot of people left the media because a lot of people were scared of these people. Would you blame them? They're nuts. So again, where is God? In this thunderous explosion, I am not going to deny the truth. It happened. Shit happens. But I am not interested in that person. My roommate says, oh, Rhonda, don't worry. In the end, you're going to get more than everything. Because they were talking about Job. You were part of it. You knew about it. Now, the authorities need to do something about it. Okay. I don't believe in everybody's faith. I mean, I believe it's there. But I will not be part of anybody's belief system. When people ask me, I just say, well, you know what? I believe Jesus is risen. Why? How do I know he is risen? Because that Holy Ghost changed my darn heart. Yeah. So, and none of us wake up to want to think about causing problems. Okay? So these snakes that come into your church and that's why it says, it does just because these snakes go into your church does not mean that the people at the church are the problem. It's the people that snaked in there and maybe threatened them. They could have threatened them. I know a couple of people I was very, very close to, and they started acting like a lot more like really cruel towards me for no reason for my sake, but something behind what was told to them. So they had to have been threatened. I was staying at another friend's place. Next thing you know, he comes home and asks, what's wrong? Well, you know, I had to, you know, take out a lot of money. Cost me a lot of money today. And then they're asking me what my other relatives' names or where they live. Forget it. These guys are criminals. So as far as I'm concerned, setups or not, you don't do it. It's a criminal offense. You don't do movies on anybody. It's a criminal offense if nobody has signed for it. Again, you are not sealed into that. Anybody that has stalked you and scared you and they actually went into your work and removed your work because they have power and money, that person is dead inside. That person has hate inside. And if that person didn't like me, they're not going to like you. Yeah. Because of a personal vendetta. Because that person is so messed up in the head, so unwell, so messed up, that person needs to be put away. And they know who they are. No, I would never want anything to do with them. Could you imagine living with someone like that? But these trolls come in. These trolls come in. And this is where, like I said, I invite the authorities to come here anytime, any day. They can come stay with me if they want and observe. They have my permission. And they will know. So again, without permission, everyone, you cannot do a movie without permission, or a film, or a theater, unless you sign on and give permission. If someone signed your signature, that's forgery, and taken your information, doing whatever with it, like they did mine, that is plagiarism. When I was at Rideout Street, they decided to go through the 10 Commandments. They said, well, if we break one, doesn't matter, we break them all. That's what they said. So this person is very, very unwell. So be aware, observe, Make sure you're going to, when you just because you meet the person the first time and they seem at peace and everything, they could be a nut job. Make sure you find out about them. Do background checks. Find out who they are. They told me they were going to keep me close to the sidewalk. They told me they were going to teach me lessons because they decided they were the gods of my body. Yeah. So again, I mean, they went to one of my friend's house I didn't think he'd ever allow in their home. And his behavior was not him. It was him, but because he acted on what he was told to do. Okay? So if you're getting a phone call, they're doing any kind of setups for any kind of movie, music, or whatever it is, and telling you, oh yeah, well don't worry, the outcome is going to be like, because they're talking about Job. Rhonda Fair did not sign on to anything. Rhonda Fair did not. But if you want to give me $1 million, go ahead, I'll take it. But again, I didn't sign on. So in all this, we all have a universal cry for God, every one of us, and man's cry for God is just as universal as life and troubles in our life. I was watching Chase, he's teaching people, life skills and nurture and nature. It's a really great topic because I love knowledge. So when I was in psychology at Fanshawe College in the child and youth, that's what she teaches. And he's teaching that also online in a podcast, and how important it is. It is very, very important. I cannot get enough knowledge. Why? Because if I don't get the knowledge, I'm not going to recognize the wrong. And people are doing the wrongs on purpose. They're told to do it to see if I recognize it. They're weird. Again, I back away from this person that's doing this. I don't want anything to do with these people. I did not sign on for it. I did not give no signature. I did not allow them to take my information for plagiarism. I did not hand over my emails. I did not give them consent to go into my apartment and steal. I did not give them consent to cut my hair off. And I did not give them consent of anything. So here, if you read, and what does that say? Love does not harm. But they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. There's no rules with them. That's when I say, authorities, do your work. And I keep you in my prayers because some of this crap, they have to go through a lot for that. Again, there is a universal cry for God, and the desire for God has been called, and it is a God ache across the universe. Because every one of us we're pathetic. We need the pity. We need to be pitied upon. Every one of us. It does not matter if we are of what race is, if we're white, black, yellow, red, or brown, or any shades, or rich or poor, or low education, high education. Heck, there's lots of people in low education that have more education than all of us. By knowledge. They didn't go to school, but they get the knowledge of their everyday life. It's a God ache, modern man. And man's heart is not only like a transmitter, but it wants to connect to truth. And it's scared. And sometimes God will allow you to be so scared you will reach out to him. Show me a miracle. He might do something. I don't know. But he does change our hearts. But I can guarantee you, from my studies anyways, now if God's word is truth, if it's truth, I can prove to everybody that the earth has only been around no more, no longer than probably 6,000 years. I can guarantee it. If the word of God is truth, then I'm telling the truth because I'm speaking from his word, and I can go look at how the water was, and all the animals, even from the ocean, the seas and everything, when they were implanted into everything, they were embedded just as they came out of that water. That's right. So, to me, When I learned about that, those creatures were only so many thousands of years old. So when they did the monkey, the ape, and the person, you will find the difference, the size. There's so much fun to learn. But again, they will gaslight me like this. I have cysts on my knees. Well, let's send Rhonda some cancer to see if we can get her going on this cancer thing. Because I just lost 2 family members with cancer. And my brother and I did. And my brother and I just lost our mom. And but those kind of people don't care. They don't care if you just lost your brother or sister or your mom. Okay? They have no empathy. They don't give 2 rat shit ass. All they care about is them. They do not care about my brother. They don't care about me. They don't care if you're suffering. They don't care if your ass is broke because they stole from you. As long as they're getting the attention, and there's a group of them. I remember, and I'm not going to say where it was right now. We're in the house, a bunch of us, and the 2 guys. I'd like to do her. Look at her. And I was thinner. I had longer hair. Be honest. If your hearts aren't changed, if you're married, you mind yourself when you be with that wife. You don't be looking with your eyes and your dick at somebody else. But who cares, right? But when you're doing it to me, I will rip your dick off. You mind yourself and mind your own business. And if you're going to marry any of my children, you're going to be focused on them and not me. Same with my girls. If they're going to marry someone, first observe them. If they're out with other women, they don't deserve you. Don't listen to hocus pocus bullshit. And that's where their oppression comes in. If you're to love your partner, you're to love your partner. It's 100 in. And I'm really getting sick and tired of having to bring up evidence. And I'm not going to argue with a doctor that I have evidence when I do have evidence. Don't play the shit on me. Evidence is evidence. My ex-husband knows damn well I have evidence. Oh, well, too bad. The hacker got you. I don't care. You're the hacker. You're all part of it. Now stop. The thing is, I send messages to my one daughter. It's disgusting. By her dad. They have no right to message that kind of garbage to them. The stuff I read, they're insane. And if they didn't send it, who did send it? Because that message, if it was from him, who did it come from? But it was evil. It's very unwell and unstable. Now, I'm trying to get my point across here. If someone's playing with you and gaslighting you, if they're doing it to me, they're going to do it to you. Because if they don't like Rhonda, they're not going to like my children. Why? Because they don't like themselves. They hate themselves. And if they don't like me, they're going to not like this person. They're going to scare this person, threaten this person. They're going to keep doing it. And they're going to steal your money. And they're going to do whatever. That's what these twisted people do. That's why it's important. They showed you by taking your work away that they mean business. Yeah, they meant business to scare the shit and scam and hack in and have everybody fired. But those little bastards, one day will get caught. Because you are not defined by those idiots. You are not defined by them. You are beautiful. I am not defined by those idiots. Just because they had chopped all my hair off, you should have seen me. I look like shit. They said they were going to make me look like my mom's hair. Oh yeah, that's what they said. And they kept chopping and pissing around. You should have seen me. I look like I come from a horror movie and a horror movie. It was disgusting. So what I'm saying is, what people can do to an oppression, and they can cause internal damages, not just by physical, by mental, by causing internal problems with your heart, with your body, and everything else, where everything isn't working right. But you need to know something, that you do matter. You do matter. I'm speaking truth here. So if there is just one person out there that is actually standing in authority for the law, do your background checks. God is great. As I move forward, you want to steal my money? Go ahead. You've already done it. You want to steal, steal. But that does not define me. We sweep off our own front doorstep. We clean inside our own home. We don't go around scrubbing everybody else's houses. Not unless they ask us to. If they invited you. That's between, if you have a partner. Again, just an observation. Spread love. If you don't care, you don't care. But I care. And that's what matters. The only way, is to get knowledge. I can recall back the time. It was very sad. We're in the kitchen. And I have a lot of great memories with my mom. But I never seen her like this. And she was losing one member after another. There was so many. There was my sister, my brother, her sister, her brother-in-law. And everybody was just dropping. It was like they were playing this wicked game on her. And she's like, damn it. And she smashes down on the table. Damn it. Jesus. What the hell? Help me. And do you think those people care? Oh shit, no. Those kind of people have no empathy, don't give two rats ass. How do I know? Because I even tested them. When I went to school, I tested a person. You know what they told me to do? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm right. Do you want to come sit down over there or anytime next week? Come sit with us. No empathy. Pay attention. Because what goes on from another person does not define you, it defines them. And they will do anything on the roadmap to gaslight you, to make you look like you are the problem. But you're not. They're the problem. They didn't get what they wanted. So now that is their way of rule. To spread love. Me, I make a choice. Who I'm going to be with, who I'm going to love. And now that I'm ready to step into that direction, I didn't think I would ever get there. But I have. I have that peace in my heart now. I can give love to another man. Because I've been able to express myself, get it off my chest, do things about it. And even though somebody says I'm lying and I have evidence, screw you. Because if you're not going to believe me, a person that's a Christian who has the Holy Spirit in her, then you got issues to begin with. And I don't care what you read, somebody can switch that, and they've done it to me. And they'll do it to you. And that's why you need your evidence. Love builds, does not destroy. And you do matter. Okay, so if you want to learn that, honestly, Trace does a great talk on, him and I have two different beliefs. He believes that our brains and whatnot are thousands or millions of years, whatever. But I'm not here following him because of his belief system and what he believes there. I am following him because he is speaking truth as a behavior analyst, talking about what we can recognize in patterns in people. If I went in there and used my religion on him, my belief system, then what it is I'm going to mess up the whole thing. That's why we don't come in with the belief system and go in there and learn. He's teaching behaviors, our actions. He talks about this here. If you don't have one of these, or if you don't have that, or like this, You know, I mean, there's so much for a woman. If she's oh yeah, it chases. If she's nervous or lying, she'll play with her necklace or whatever. And of course, we go like this if we're choking, whatever. So if someone is choking, you can tell when someone's dead, because you'll see that action. If you see it struggling like this, then it's something else. What a picture. And so then if a man is scared or nervous about something, and I see this a lot, is yeah, they're so nervous around me, and they'll grab at their chest here. I think I'm dying, you know, and stuff like that, because they know they've been caught in a lie. And so the thing is, there's all kinds of body language. There's, I don't know, there's just so much. Go listen to them, because they know more than I do. But what I do know is I enjoy listening and I love learning, so I'm very grateful for that. And when I listen to the CIA, like they said, they can't bring their belief system in. They know what they believe in, like there's Christians in there, and believers and non-believers, but what they're there for, I can take you in, and I can, and maybe you know, if somebody's gone into your personal life, they can dig in treasures and get into your secrets that nobody knows. And that's what spies do. Again, so that you feel comfortable and speak truth to them. Now, whoever I speak truth to, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, because I got nothing to hide. But whoever lies has lots to hide, you know. So, you know, when I see a family member of mine suffering, and I can see that, and I can't communicate with them, I know there's something going on. So anyways, you take care of yourself. Look out for your family. They matter. And just to know that you are loved. And if you're stuck in a position where somebody's oppressed you and did this kind of harm, I want you to know it'll be taken care of. Anyways, you take care of yourself. And God bless.